Okay, this is Theodore here again. I realized in order to teach people Blender for beginners, I'd have to show you guys how to make something. So we're going to make a robot like this, just something simple, made out of a few objects, just barely edited. You can kind of control it like this. And let's get to it. So I'm going to go to File, New, General, and by the way, Blender just got updated, so you should always make sure you have the newest version of Blender. So we're gonna add a cylinder, and let me just turn on my shortcut keys. And we're gonna go into modeling. We're gonna increase the size and in every direction, but the Z direction. Actually, no. Let's just make a loop cut by pressing Ctrl R, scale it a bit, and do that a bit more here. Press O. G, Y, move it a bit like that, add subdivision surface modifier on it, and 3, so you can do face select, I for inset, press O again, scale, G, Z, and now I'm going to do this, scale that a bit, press 3, actually no, 2, then Shift E to make that a hard line, and now I'm going to exit edit mode. I'm going to make sure it's shaded smooth. Now I'm going to press 1. Actually, I'll just stop saying stuff like that. You can see the thing in the corner. When you want to change where the 3D cursor is, just go to the cursor icon and click. I'm going to add a sphere. Scale that down. Move it a bit if I don't like where it is. Make it shaded smooth. Add a mirror modifier, select the main body of the robot, and you can already see we're kind of getting there. Now this will probably be a 2-part tutorial, gonna do Shift S, cursor to selected. I'm going to add a UV sphere, bring that up a bit, and shade smooth. Now Shift S, cursor to selected, add another cylinder, scale it a bit, rotate it on the y-axis by 90 degrees, move it a bit, and something I think I might try doing is actually making the arms a bit smaller. Than the actual joint, which I think might look better. If not, if you don't like the look, then just make it bigger. I'm not telling you what to do. Well, I kind of am, but you don't have to do it. So I'm going to shade that smooth and add the mirror modifier. If you go into rendered, it won't look the same because there aren't any textures. So I'm just going to go back to solid, and I'm going to actually tab into edit mode just quickly and move this so that the origin point is closer to the end of this cylinder. tab out of edit mode, move that back there, and add another. Actually, I'll just duplicate this. I'm gonna scale that again so that it's not too big. And yeah, I'm gonna duplicate this, GX, make this a bit smaller. I'm just gonna decide if I should go like that. No, I'll go bigger. Now I'm going to add a UV sphere, scale it, move it on the x-axis, scale it on the y-axis and the z-axis a bit, so that it's more of an oval. Yeah, I'm gonna scale this on the y-axis some more, and yeah, I'm gonna start on the lower bit more. Before we do that, I should probably add a mirror modifier and then add a sphere. We don't call them circles, we call them spheres. They're three-dimensional. And I'm gonna duplicate this. And move it into position here. See, it's really helpful to have the origin point at the end of something sometimes, because that's where it rotates. I'm gonna add another mirror modifier and scale this a bit more. And yeah, I'm gonna actually try to make these smaller again. And yeah, I'm gonna duplicate that again. And try to line it up with the face there and scale it down. And yeah, now we've blocked out the main part of it. I'm just gonna select these and move it back a bit. Maybe scale them on everything, but no, I'll just scale them. Yeah, I think I like them better the other way. Okay. Now we won't actually be merging these parts. For most of it, we'll actually be taking apart some of the parts. And yeah, we've got most of the thing done now. Now we're just gonna add a default texture and edit it a bit. So we wanna make this a little less rough and add some more specular to it. And now if we go into edit mode, that looks better, but nothing else has changed, so we're gonna have to start making everything else a bit better. So something you might want to consider instead of making a Boolean textures is using the drop down menu. It saves a lot of space and it's just easier, because then if you change one texture, you raw material, you change the others. Oh, and before we do anything else, I forgot to add the joint here. So I'm gonna duplicate that, GX, scale that down, GX. I'm actually gonna make this bigger, and now you've got a little finished robot. And now here I'm gonna do Shift S, cursor selected. The cursor always goes to the origin point of the object. When you press origin, cursor to selected, I'm gonna add a cube, scale it down, GZ, and Control 2, which will add a subdivision modifier with 2, with like a subdivision of 2. I'm gonna tab into edit mode, make it bigger, add a few loop cuts in it, yeah. I'm just gonna try to make its feet a bit less fat and move these more forward to round it out a bit. I'm going to shade smooth, and we might come back to that later, but right now it's looking okay. I'm gonna add a mirror modifier to that and have it according to the body. I'm going to tab into edit mode here, RX90. I'm going to select this loop cut, or that row of vertices. Duplicate it by pressing Shift D, press P to separate it. Then I'm going to try to select the other piece and make it have that material, and put a solidify modifier on it. And you can see very quickly that it's starting to look like the other one. Let me just open the other one for comparison. Now, as you can see, I obviously did make those arms quite a bit thinner, but if you don't like that, as I said, you can change it. So yeah, I'm gonna also just make these a bit bigger on everything but the x-axis, because they are just looking a bit too scrawny. Yeah. So, something that I thought might be good for a beginner to learn and kind of like get a good understanding of some of the cool things you can do in Blender. I'm going to duplicate that material by making another version of it that's there, but it's still the same material, so I have to press this button, which will pretty much duplicate it. I'm going to assign that face to that. I'm going to go into the shading tab. I've got this image that I made of just a basic power button. So I'm gonna open it, and here it is. I'm just gonna quickly go into the UV editor to fix that. The UV editor is practically just like putting an image on something, and I forgot that this was sideways, so let's just have it in rendered so I can check. And I'm gonna do that. And as you can see, we've got a power button, but it's looking a bit weird. So we need to add a mix color. Let's just look up mix RGB, that's what it's called. So we're gonna make sure it has the same color as that, and make the alpha, so the transparency of it, the mixer, and now we've got a power button, but it's not looking so good. So let's add a mix shader and emission, which is under that tab. So emission, have this image control the color, this control the factor of it, and it's already starting to look a bit better. I'm just going to turn up the strength a bit to something like 1.5. I'm going to add that image in again. You don't want to duplicate that node, because then it tends to, whatever you change on that node will change the other node. I don't know why Blender changed it. It didn't used to be that way, and it's slightly annoying, but I guess it does have some practical uses. So I'm going to open that texture again and run the power button, change the sRGB to non-color data, plug this into the normal, add a normal, and have the alpha, and actually that's probably not going to be good, so I'm going to put this into the displacement, and that should be a bit better. It looks kind of like a bomb, which is good. So I'm going to add a displacement. That didn't used to happen. I guess there are still some bugs in Blender 2.81. So yeah, that's the power button. If you wanna add a logo or something, it's the same thing. We'll go to modeling, select the vertices you might wanna have the logo on. Copy that texture again. Let's have it on texture 3 and duplicate that texture. Assign it to that texture, unwrap it. Go to UV unwrap. Actually, we'll do that later for when it's got the proper texture on it. So now we're going to want I'm going to just add my current YouTube logo. So I keep that under Control-C, then YouTube, and then and yeah, this is my logo. And I'll open that again on here. And I don't think I want the mission anymore, so I'll delete that and that. By pressing Alt, you can take it out. I'm not sure if that's just with the Node Wrangler, but yeah, if you don't have Node Wrangler, you can enable it by going to Edit, Preferences, Add-ons, Node Wrangler, and you can click that. Then you're going to want to save your preferences by pressing Save, and that's the gist of it. Now I'll go under UV Unwrap and move that like that. And now that's looking pretty good. So now I'm going to exit edit mode and start adding. That shouldn't be there, so I'll go back into the UV editor, and you can just take these GX and bring it in a bit, and now you can see it's not there. Looks like we've got some more of those, so I'll go back into the UV editing and GUI, and now we shouldn't have any of those. Yep, everything's good now. So we're going to do the same thing with the face. You just wanna paint a picture of a face. Just anything you want to be displayed on the screen or face of the robot. And we're going to go into modeling, select everything, press that so that these joints don't have that logo or whatever you want on there. Go into shading, texture, image texture. I'm gonna find my face that I drew earlier. Looks slightly creepy, but yeah. And I'm gonna UV edit that, because when you've got a default shape like a sphere, it's already UV unwrapped, and sometimes you don't want it unwrapped like it has it. So I'm gonna press 2, Control-E, work scene, A, Q, unwrap, and then I'm gonna find out which one's that part. So this part can just be shrunk and put over here because it doesn't need anything, and that can go there. And I'm gonna scale that, and And yeah, you can see it kind of looks creepy, but that's just because my face isn't very good for this robot, so yeah. If we go over here, actually, you know what? In the next tutorial, we can add shape keys and an armature. So I'll just show you the one shape key that I actually have on the robot. So it's on the right arm. So it's just something that's meant to look like kind of like a pop-out gun thing, or you know that in the first Iron Man he had like missiles attached to his arm. It's just supposed to look somewhat like that. Okay, now we're going to add the fingers. Let's see. Let's put the 3D cursor there. Add a circle, scale it down, move it a bit more towards the center of where you'd like your thumb, and why isn't that? I'm just gonna redo that because that's being stubborn for some reason. So let's scale it down. So if you have the same problem I had, just press 1. It will take you back to Vertice, edit, and I guess all we have to do is scale this down a bit. Extrude this, then merge it at center, and add a few loop cuts for those kind of like tube texture thing that I did. I'm going to turn on proportional editing by pressing O and rotate that a bit, and I'm actually going to move this a bit, shape this smooth and have it have that material. Let's see how that's looking. That's looking okay. And if you're not thrilled with how the face is looking, just add a mixed shader and an emission. I'm going to add this in here, the alpha in here, then crank up the strength to something like 5. And then we can turn on bloom too. So that's looking a bit better. I'm going to press 1 on the numpad. Then I'm just going to duplicate these and scale them. And of course, I'm gonna edit this a bit so that it's not like the thumb, but then we can just duplicate these. Okay, and I'm going to move this just a bit. And now we've got the hand pretty much done. We're gonna need to have the mirror modifier on, have it for the body. And now this is a good time to teach you guys a little trick. You can select all these, then the thing with the modifier first, then press Ctrl L, and then you can link modifiers. So now all of them are on that side. Okay, I'm gonna leave. Actually, let's just at least have this a bit more showcased. Cursor to world origin. Just so that you guys can actually have a good idea how this tutorial is going to end. This will be a two-part tutorial thing for just this robot, because next time we're going to need to do the armature. So yeah, I'm first gonna just kind of like try to quickly replicate the lighting I was doing by having a green light here, a purple light here, and a blue light here. And you can see that it's kind of the effect that I was going for. And I'll just add a volume, principal volume, change the density to 0.15, 0.05 or something, and then that's pretty much it. Then next time we're going to add an armature for this, and then we'll be done with this character. We might do a few more characters after this, or other projects to get you acquainted with Blender, but this is mostly it. See you next time. Bye.